and an Iranian Kurd named Mohammad Sheikh Ahmad clung to the remnants of their boat, hoping its little remaining buoyancy would see them through the waves. The rest of the party, 27 in all, had no choice but to cling to each other. They joined hands as they bobbed queasily in the chop, trying against all odds to keep each other afloat. Their backgrounds, their religions, any differences that might have once divided them, counted for little now. They were all just people, men, women, and children, trying to stay alive. For hours they remained in the water, hand in hand, scanning the horizon for any sign that help was on its way. By the time assistance came, it was too late. As the hours dragged by, and the chill of the sea burrowed deep into their bones, the hands of the 27 grew weak, and their grip on each other loosened. They slipped away one by one, until no one was left to carry on the fight with the wind and the waves. As they sank into the uncaring sea, the white cliffs of England could be seen over the cresting waves, so close and yet so impossibly far, within their grasp and just out of reach. They had come so far, through so much struggle and hardship, only to founder in sight of shore. Why had they risked so much? 3 days later, another boat became mired in the channel. The refugees on board had been on the water for 10 hours when the bodies started to appear. 25 had left Calais before dawn on the 27th of November, full of hope and expectation. Now, halfway across the channel, their vessel was running out of fuel. The sea had been more turbulent than they had expected, their journey longer than anticipated. So they huddled in their dinghy, willing their sputtering motor to see them to shore. The first sign that something was amiss came when Zana Hamawandi, a 21-year-old Kurd from Iran, spotted 2 bright orange specks rolling heavily in the waves. The colour seemed out of place in the grim grey void of the channel. As his boat drew alongside the objects, Zana realized they were life jackets. But they were ill-named, for as he looked closer, Zana realized there were bodies still clasped inside them. Suddenly, the boat was engulfed in a shoal of corpses, the wreckage of 27 hopes and dreams, each one a private devastation. Our boat was surrounded by dead bodies, a horrified asylum seeker named Karzan Manguri remembered with a shiver. At that moment, my entire body was shaking. As suddenly as they had appeared, the current changed, and the bodies were swept away, leaving the 25 alone with their horror. Then, above the fitful chugging of their motor, they heard anguished cries coming from the tattered remnants of a dinghy much like their own. Mohammed Isa Omar and Mohammed Sheikh Ahmad were astonishingly still alive. Zana and Karzan and their 23 comrades wanted to help. The plaintive wail cut clean through to their souls. These were men just like them, refugees searching for some place of asylum. But they worried, too, that they would only join the flotilla of the dead if they tried to come to their aid. They felt guilty and helpless, knowing they would be haunted by the shouts for the rest of their lives. So they did what they could. For hours they tried to get through to the British or French authorities on their mobile phones, hoping someone would arrive before the 2 last survivors lost their tenuous grip. At 12:30 p.m. they finally made contact and reported the shipwreck and its location. At 1:10 their motor died. They feared they would be forced to watch as Mohammed and Muhammad drowned. They feared they would soon share their fate. They, too, were adrift on an angry sea. Just as they began to give up hope, the surviving 27 heard the whir of a helicopter hovering overhead. A short time later, HM Coast Guard arrived to rescue the beleaguered dinghy and fish Mohammed and Muhammad from the clutches of the deep. 27 had been lost. 27 had been...